Hello and welcome to Silex Compliance Manager. Silex Software is a Gold Microsoft partner who helps organizations manage and secure their IT infrastructures. Compliance Manager is a new product from Silex Software that delivers a security and compliance assessment capability. Compliance Manager leverages industry best practices including Microsoft Security Compliance Manager baselines, SCAP baselines, as well as a HIPAA baseline that Silex developed. It delivers real-time monitoring, reporting, and remediation of security controls that allow organizations to move more towards a state of continuous compliance. Here's a short demonstration of Silex Compliance Manager. Compliance Manager is easy to set up. When you first start the application, it's going to prompt you to create a new database. Next, Compliance Manager is going to prompt you to create a collector. A collector is a Windows service that's responsible for gathering information from one or more endpoints within your organization and assessing the compliance state of those endpoints. The last step in the configuration of Compliance Manager is to add endpoints that are going to be monitored and managed by the service. We have a few different ways we can do that. Probably the easiest is just to go out and browse my domain and select any number of endpoints that we want to manage with Compliance Manager. I'll provide credentials as well as a collection schedule. And we're done. Compliance Manager is now set up and is beginning to assess the compliance state of endpoints within my organization. When Compliance Manager has completed the collection of information from within my environment, I can begin to see that information through the dashboards that are included with the product. For example, we have 4 different HIPAA compliance dashboards. Let's click on this first dashboard, which is going to show me the HIPAA compliance state of, in this case, the 5 different workstations that are being monitored. I can see at a high level the number of compliance settings and non-compliance settings, and I can drill down on any one of these endpoints to see exactly what settings are being monitored and the compliance state of those settings. So here I can see the details of each of the settings that are being monitored. I can see some information that relates back to the HIPAA safeguard, and I can see in this far column the compliance state. Now perhaps if I'm just interested in non-compliant settings, I can group this information by the compliance state and look at those settings in a little bit more detail. We also included information, some summary information, so an aggregate of all the different compliance settings and non-compliance settings, as well as we can see that information over time. So we do provide some trending information that allows me to see is my infrastructure going towards a more compliant state or perhaps a less compliant state. Now, so far we've only looked at the HIPAA compliance dashboards. One of the other really powerful capabilities of Compliance Manager is its ability to leverage other industry standard policies. So, for example, let's click on this policy compliance by computer. Here I'm going to see a number of endpoints that are being monitored by Compliance Manager. And here I can see some different policies that are in place that are being monitored. For example, if I look at this Windows 7 workstation, I can see that it not only has the HIPAA compliance baseline applied to it, but it has 2 other Windows security compliance policies that have been applied to that particular system. Those are policies that are produced by Microsoft, part of the Microsoft Security Compliance Manager tool, and it contains best practices on how a system should be configured to adhere to these security standards. If I drill down, let's take a look at this particular endpoint. And here's a listing of all the different settings that are being monitored on this workstation. If I group it by configuration item, I'll be able to see this broken out by the policies that are in use. And here I can, for example, see the Windows 7 domain security compliance settings, as well as I can see some of the password attribute settings that have been applied to this endpoint. So again, very importantly, Compliance Manager not only supports HIPAA compliance baselines that are produced by Silex, but we also support other industry standard policies, including SCAP policies, as well as Microsoft Security Compliance Manager policies. One of the other key features of Compliance Manager is the ability to define your own policies. So the way we do that is to go over to the Policies workspace, and here I can see all of the policies that are included with the product. So here, let's just move this over. I'm looking at all the Microsoft Security Compliance baselines for different platforms, different operating systems, as well as different applications. So for example, here I'm seeing a SQL 2012 set of baselines and policies that I can use within my environment. Now the way to create a new policy is we have a couple of different choices. I can use what's called the golden master technique. So if I have an image running within my environment that reflects the standard configuration, perhaps I want to measure other systems against that configuration, I can use the golden master policy creation wizard to help me along and create that particular policy. Alternatively, I can create that policy on a step-by-step basis. So let's just go ahead and create a new policy. And we'll just call it, and now I can use the interactive editing environment to help me create this policy. So let's first of all add a Windows baseline. Next, we have a number of different configuration item types. So here I can create items that reflect perhaps a desired operating system, required applications, prohibited applications. Perhaps I want to flag a system if it has a copy of, say, iTunes installed on it. I want to flag that as being not compliant. We also have this other setting type called the general settings, and within that general settings I have really a wide number of different types of things that I can monitor on a system. So I can monitor file systems, objects, I can monitor registry, SQL, WMI. We have actually a WMI query builder that really helps you make it able to assess any information sitting within that WMI database. I can run scripts, I can look for group policies. So using the general settings category, I can define very, very specific configuration settings that I want to monitor within this particular policy. Once I've finished creating this policy, it's very easy for me to assign that policy to one or more endpoints within my organization. So I'd like to thank you for taking the time today to watch this demonstration of Compliance Manager. For additional product information, please visit our website at siloc.com. You'll find additional information on both Compliance Manager as well as our HIPAA Compliance Pack. If you want to get in touch with us, please give us a call at the number here or email us at info@siloc.com.